An inspiring life story is the account of a moment when an extraordinary person reveals the key that unlocked the door to their success. Among the many themes explored in these narratives are triumphs over adversity and the shattering of previously established boundaries. Not only can you as an individual motivate others to chase their dreams, but you can also provide them with the means they need to keep going strong once they reach their goals. Welcome, everyone, to the Live and Learn podcast, the fun and engaging podcast where we dive deep into the experiences and adversities of leaders and professionals who have made a difference in the lives of many. I am honored today to have with me a close friend of mine who I met through my brother, actually, who is the mother of my nephew, who is a photographer in the thriving world of photography right now, and currently is a digital support operations specialist at CQ. And I'm looking forward to our conversation today. But before we get started, I love to open with a poem. And today's poem is entitled Conflict of Interest. Know your value, then charge interest. Then round up who's counting the difference. They feel they're getting a raw deal. Your value isn't discounted on how they feel. You don't have to go on a clearance to make a sale. Unfit buyers will always quail. Many know your worth. Few of them will pay. Why would you want it to be any other way? If everyone's buying, then who's really trying? Supply presents, but demanding nothing. Supply presents, but demand nothing. I'm sorry. It speaks for itself. They'll say something. They can negotiate price all they want. You're priceless anyway. Let them hunt. Their budget doesn't determine your worth. So what if their feelings are hurt? Conflict of interest. How much is it cost? Their refusal to pay is your profit and their loss. So again, conflict of interest is a poem that I wrote to inspire people to not belittle their confidence, to stand firm on who they are as a person. This was actually inspired by an experience that I had, and sometimes I felt like I was settling when I was on the date market long time ago. I've been married now happily for 7 years. Well, going on 7 years. And but yeah, when I was in the dating world, I just felt like I would always question myself and say, am I doing too much of this? Am I not enough of that? And my message to you is you are enough. Don't put yourself on a clearance rack just to get a sale. Now we're going to dive over into our conversation with the wonderful Tiffany. Hello, Tiffany. How are you today?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. I appreciate you so much for being on the Live and Learn podcast. You are, again, a thriving photographer who is doing this wonderful documentary that I'm excited to learn more about and for you to share with the audience. But before we get into that, again, you're a photographer. You also have a full-time job with CQ as a digital support operations specialist. You're a mom. You got a lot of stuff going on.
Yes, I'm very tired.
And like I always tell my listeners, our chosen professions are often like a culmination of the things that we've experienced, be it what we experienced in the past or what we're currently going through. So what led you to be where you are today as a photographer in the digital support world? What led to all of these professions for you?
Photography has always been in me. I had the throwaway cameras as a kid, the cameras you take to Walmart and to get developed. I'm always taking pictures. I always like to capture the moments. The biggest thing for me was when I was younger, my dad bought me my first Barbie camera, and it was like they had this software back in the day where you can plug it up to the computer and then edit the pictures, and I love to do that. I would take pictures until it died, it was ridiculous. And I've always been very artistic. I always loved to paint, I love to draw. But photography was always in me. I always like to capture the moment. I always like to create memories, and I feel like with photography, I'm creating memories for the world. And I just I love it. You know, it's like I love sitting on Photoshop editing pictures, and I love going to these events for people. I love working with all of my clients. I have so many returning clients. They call me around the same time every year. Yeah, Tiffany, this is going on. So my aunt is doing this, and is this going on? And then, and the next week my nephew's going to prom, so I have like returning clients, which is amazing. And I just love what I do. And I do it because my father saw it in me when I was a child, and then me as an adult now owning my own business. My baby is now 3 years old as of March 14th of, yeah, as of March 14th, it was in 3 years. And I just love what I do, I love just, creating memories. Now, with my career, I've always worked in banking off and on for years. Now I'm at the point where I'm working in digital support, which is nice. I get to work with it's like a few other people on my team, and pretty much when there's issues, we kind of like come together, we figure it out, we get the scripts ran to get it fixed. And we handle things like Zelle and any online banking like issues, bill pay, things like that. I do love what I do. I love work. I don't have to really be on the phone. I'm just doing tickets every day. It's like, oh, today it's 300 tickets in the queue. Let's, work on that. And it's nice, I think from there, I will eventually do something else digitally. But as of right now, I'm happy where I am because I can still work on my business and work full time. So it's nice.
That's good. And flexibility is definitely crucial when you're an entrepreneur like you are, who is growing at the rate that you are. And what I will say too is like to say that you have returning clients, that's like one of the proudest like feelings to have as
Yes.
an entrepreneur. You got because you served a client and they decided they wanted to come back to you. So I applaud you on that. So now we're going to talk about an obstacle, adverse moment that you experienced. What was that obstacle that you went through, and what message or lesson did it deliver to you, and how are you using that today? Or it could be an obstacle you're currently facing at the moment.
Um, right now, business is, I mean, yes, I have my returning clients, but business is kind of slow. I was hoping that it would pick up the way it has over the years, but with the economy and everything, people don't want to pay a lot of money for pictures. We have these other devices, we have iPhones, we have like, people are like, they don't want to pay professional photographers to do things. And then it's like, everybody thinks they're a photographer. They're gonna go to Walmart and get their little package deal camera, and they're going out in the streets and they're calling themselves a photographer. I am a professional photographer. I'm self-made. I was the girl that like, okay, I taught myself photography. It's kind of like, no worries. It's kind of like, um, yes, I took pictures and everything, as when I was younger until I got older. But it was more so like I went to Enoch Pratt. I'm in the library. I'm reading books about photography. I'm learning. I'm actually reading up on camera settings and things like that. Like I am self-taught with what I do, and and my biggest obstacle now is just people don't want to pay for pictures. It's kind of like we have our iPhone, we can just, and then there would be people that would pay that deposit and everything. And then the day of, oh, we don't want to go through with it because they don't want to pay full price. They would sign my contracts and everything, and then just, so that is my biggest obstacle right now. But it's not going to deter me from my goals and the things I want to do with my life. And I'm not going to take, I'm not going to take that and think that I don't need to be a photographer anymore. This is what I was made to do, So regardless of me not getting the business that I want, I'm still going to do what I need to do for my life and my business. So it is what it is.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think that like when you face obstacles like that too, sometimes it's telling you something about like in your space, maybe it could be something with the kind of clients you're serving.
That's
So
true
sometimes
too.
it could be, fate or nature, someone telling
Mhm.
you, maybe you should approach, clients, not just clients with bigger pockets, but
Mhm.
clients who actually appreciate the true value and essence of photography.
That's true, sir.
Because I know for me,
No
sorry,
worries.
I know for me, like if I want something professionally done, like, I'm doing a photo shoot with you today, and I'm doing it because I want to market my brand.
Mhm.
And marketing my brand, I can't be out in the street using an iPhone or a cell phone to
Exactly,
market my brand the way I
right.
want it to.
Right.
So I think that, what really needs to happen when it comes to not even just photography, but when it comes to appreciating the art and the work that goes into becoming skilled at the craft that you have,
Mhm.
is people appreciating, what that professionalism does to their brand, their
Mhm.
whatever it is they're trying to do. So I think with you serving personal clients, you probably are going to run into that a little bit given where the
Mhm.
economy is.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like, people who are doing weddings or
Mhm.
venues, they're going to want someone professional. And I know a lot of people that have parties and
Right.
stuff.
Like I like wedding season. I do have some things coming up this
Mhm.
year, but it's kind of like it's spread. It's spread. It's not
Yeah.
like consistent. I want more of consistency in my business. Like I have a slow period. Now it's gonna start picking up. Like I am fully booked like the end of this month all the way until like July. I am
Oh,
booked.
wow.
But
Wow.
January, February, and March, I've struggled, like I only had a few things going on, like, but that's the business.
Okay. Well, I got one suggestion I'm gonna give you, but we'll talk about that off air because I don't want to
Okay.
get off topic.
No worries.
So now we're going to transition to the vision and the future of your industry.
Hmm.
I appreciate you again sharing about the struggles or the obstacles you're currently facing as far as like, I guess really what it sounds to me like is people appreciating, the art that goes into it and just
Hmm.
thinking, oh, I can just go out here and do it myself.
Right.
So when you think of the vision and the future of photography, where do you see it as, say, in the next 3 to 5 years, and how do you see yourself like making an impact or standing in that field?
I don't know.
Hey, at least you're
that
being
one,
honest.
I really don't know. I don't know what the future hold. I just honestly just stay positive, stay prayed up, just think like I'm going like my biggest dream is to be like a director of photography for like movies and things like
Oh,
that. That is why I'm doing Black Men Smile. I know we'll be talking about that. And that's my biggest dream right now. So I'm working towards that. So I'm trying to get more into video because of the TikToks and all of that. So I'm trying to get more into video. Um, and honestly, I want to keep learning. One thing about being a creative is that you constantly learn. You learn, learn,
mm-hmm.
learn. So I'm just going
Amen
to
to that.
keep teaching myself new techniques, new things within my photography, and in hopes that one day I will be a director of a photography. Hey, Tyler Perry. You know how that's how everybody get that stuck. That's why you got to holler at
Yeah.
Tyler Perry.
Oh,
So, but
I
anyway.
know, right?
But I want to stay positive and just keep learning and keep teaching myself. And I don't know where it will take me, but that's the ultimate goal. Like, you know, hopefully by the time in my 40s that'll happen, or even earlier than that. I'm about to be 35, so
Yeah, well, you got plenty of time before you turn 40.
yeah. So
You
it's
know.
no telling what these, what may happen in the future, but I pray that I reach my goals.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate you again sharing that with the audience. And, because again, I asked that question to my guests because I think, sometimes, you get comfortable, you get complacent with where things are. The
Hmm.
only time really where people don't get comfortable is if their pockets ain't growing. But
Right,
but if
right.
they keep getting clients and the money keep coming in, they try to stay business as usual. But you've seen just as much as I've seen, industries continue to change, like ever
Yes,
change, like the world is ever
yes,
changing. There's
it
always
is.
some new technology,
It is.
some new way of doing things.
AI.
Exactly. So you got to kind of stay ahead of the curve and create that forward thinking mindset with things
Exactly.
the way they
Yeah.
are today.
Yeah.
So, so this is a first. I actually had my guest suggest a verse for me today because little old irresponsible me didn't have the verse ready. So my guest suggested Romans chapter 8, verse 37, and it reads, "No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us." Short and sweet. You want to share your thoughts on
I just felt it.
that?
I just, it's like I just feel like through everything that I would ever go through, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I just feel like whatever you go through, whatever I go through, whatever, it's kind of like it's a purpose. There's a reason why things happen. Things happen because it's preparing you to grow. God do things. I feel like this. I feel like God does things that like you sit here and think, oh my God, it's not a God, or it's not, I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that. Do you not understand that God is preparing you for something?
I share that all the time.
God is always preparing you for better. God is always preparing you for another chapter in your life that you will not understand. And you'll be sitting there and you're like, why am I going through this? Why is this happening? What is happening? And then when you keep believing in him, it's kind of like, and then when that door opens, you like, wait a minute.
Yep.
So you done took me to, you better. You done took me to this door and I didn't know this was gonna happen.
Yep.
Like you done took me to this level of happiness within myself, or happiness within whatever's happening in my life. And I'm like, wait a minute. So that's why I felt it.
Okay.
That's how I feel. So
I definitely get you on that. And seeing like what that verse says to me is that like when it says we are more than conquerors through him, to me it says we are overcomers, we are lovers, we are teachers, we are motivators. Like it just says that because a lot of the times when we like go through adversity, we go through these tough times and we get through them. Sometimes we just look at like, thank you God for getting me through it. But sometimes we don't have the appreciation for him bringing us to it. I used to always like when I was going through like one of the most difficult times of my life. I had lost my job. I had, I go on a tangent. I'm not, I'm this because it's not about me today. But I was going through it, and as every single day before I went into work, I always pray to God and said, "Thank you for bringing me through it and to it." Because without bringing me to it, one, I wouldn't get through it, and I wouldn't learn from it. So
exactly.
So to me, that verse says that we are learners, we're teachers, we are motivators, and we are all of those things, not just people that overcome things,
Right.
but we are given those things to teach others. So that's what that verse said to me.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna get to a little bit of fun, but before we do, we just did spiritual relief. Make sure you pick up a copy of my devotional, Embracing Your Role in the Kingdom. It was a book that I just really felt God called me to write. I had people in my life, and it's funny, my wife and I were just talking about this yesterday. People in my life kept telling me I should be a pastor or a preacher, and I kept saying, that's too much responsibility. I don't want that. But I do feel that my being here, it's important that I share and spread the word of God. And, at least in some capacity, I was doing that. In some capacity, let the world know what God has done for me and through me. And I decided to write a book. So visit deepdiscussion.org to purchase your copy. It's only $9.99. So, and you can purchase all of my books if you want to. They all have $9.99. So purchase away. All right, so now we're going to transition over to a fun segment. I just recently changed the title for probably like the 15th time. It's called Random Ranks. And in this segment, I provide, just think of something random for me and the guest to share top three or top five. In this case, we're going to do a top three. And for today's guest, we're going to do the top three vacation spots that are still on your bucket list.
Japan.
Oh, oh,
It's
okay.
just the flight. It's kind of like, oh my God.
You ain't never lying.
All right, definitely Japan. I definitely want to go to I don't know about Dubai anymore. I don't know. But that was one of mine, and then I kind of want and definitely Nigeria.
Oh, Nigeria. Okay.
Yeah,
Definitely wasn't one I was expecting to hear.
yeah.
Japan, Japan did throw me off a little bit, but I know a lot of people
Japan
that want to
because
go to
it's
Japan.
so the culture and just
Yeah, I know a lot of
and
people
then
that want
like
to
the
go to
photography. Like I would
Japan. Go figure.
all of
Right?
my cameras would die in Japan.
Better pack 10 of them
I
then.
will be creating content of everything. I'll be creating content of like me eating random foods of, just oh my God.
Mm.
I'll probably move there. I probably won't come back.
So Japan, Nigeria, and was
I don't know. I guess probably still Dubai.
okay.
I'm in and out on that one, but yeah.
Okay. I know two for me are Greece and Brazil.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
trying to think of the third one. I always get stuck on the third one because the third one for a while for me was St. Thomas. And
Hmm.
maybe I still kind of want to go there because I went there on a cruise, but
Hmm.
I didn't really get to enjoy, the whole culture and area of St. Thomas.
Hmm.
But two for me are definitely Greece and Brazil. Greece been on my bucket list for years.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. Well, that was fun. And be sure if you have your bucket list, feel free to share yours on my social media sites if you have a bucket list of vacation spots that you're still looking to go to. So now that pretty much wraps up today's show. Anything you would like to share with our listeners about any special promotions you got going on?
I would like to talk
Sales.
about Black Men Smile first. So, Black Men Smile was created a few years ago. I got the ideas together with his brother, my son's father, my best friend. We're still good friends. And I was like, I really want to get a group of men together and just interview them and ask them questions. And because I don't feel like men are appreciated enough. Now, and for me I feel like that because it's kind of like when it's Mother's Day, oh my God, all the sales, the this, the oh my God, the mother, and I'm a mother, so I get it, right? But then Father's Day, it's like 2 for 25 at Applebee's.
That's a way to put it.
Like it's kind of like fathers aren't celebrated. And then there's so many different fathers. There's single fathers out here that don't, that take care of their kids without the mother being around. There's scenarios like that. Fathers, there's the men just aren't celebrating enough. That's just how I feel. Okay. I feel like y'all are just like whatever, like it's kind of like I want to ask men about their lives and just whatever's going on with them, if they have anything going on in their feelings, because men, especially black men, their feelings matter too. It's kind of like men are just trained to be like sturdy and not to have feelings and things like that. And it's kind of like in this new generation, we need to teach our kids that men have feelings. It's kind of like, and when they say things, it should be just as important as when women say things. And I don't feel like that is the case. And mostly too because my dad and my a lot of people passed away. A lot of the males in my life passed away. My dad passed away. My grandfather passed away. I don't have any grandfathers. They all passed away.
Sorry.
And my father passed away. I have an uncle that passed away. So it's like I don't have a lot of males in my life. I still have my uncle. I still have my cousins, and I still have males in my life, but not as much as. And I just want them to feel appreciated, and I want them to be in my documentary. Most of them are in my documentary. I just want to celebrate Black men. That's just the goal. That's one thing. And you'll see it. I'm gonna be doing his interview today. And then besides Black Men Smile, I still have my photography business. I shoot weddings, events, birthday parties, everything. Sports, your son playing football, your son's playing soccer, I can take pictures, or your daughter is doing ballet. I take pictures of there's nothing I haven't done. And tmphotographybaltimore.com, www.tmphotographybaltimore.com. I know it's a long name, but it's tmphotographybaltimore.com. You go to my site, you can see all of my work. And yeah, that's pretty much. I don't have any. I do have yes, prom specials. I am running a prom special right now. Doing up to like 10 to 15 professional photos up to an hour for $175. And then I can travel to you. I can take pictures of, the prom send off. I'm doing prom send off specials right now. So
Now graduations are coming up. Are you gonna do any?
I'm doing, yeah, I'm gonna get that together as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually do a promo shoot, and then I'm gonna use those pictures. So I shoot pictures for graduations as well.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you gracing the Live and Learn podcast with your presence today, with your experience and your knowledge. And for those of you who are listening, thank you for taking the time to hit the play button and learn more about how adversity can really transform and morph us into better individuals and human beings. Be sure to again visit my website. Even if you're going there just to search around and learn more about deep discussion, you don't have to make a purchase. It'll be nice. But it's deepdiscussion.org. And if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, send me an email. My new email address, I know you see deepdiscussion13@gmail on there, but that's actually changed. It's now thriveforward@deepdiscussion.org. I'm in the process of starting a program called the Thrive Forward Growth and Resilience Program. And it's where I deliver 4 workshops. So I put together 4 workshops where I help people become better leaders, help people embrace adversity as an opportunity, and also teach and train people on life skills. So be sure to visit my website and learn more about that. And if you have any ways you want to get connected with Deep Discussion, again, you can contact me via phone at 443, which is different than what's up there, 744-5406. I've been busy. I haven't had a chance to make all of these changes. So but thanks again for tuning in. And be sure to visit tmphotographybaltimore.com for all of your photography needs. And thank you again, Tiffany, for being on the podcast.
And thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
All right, you all take care. God bless. I always forget where that stop button is. Oh, there it is.